Okay, we are live. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Lucia.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, thanks, and you?
I'm well. Good morning, all the listeners. Thank you for joining us this morning. I hope you are all well. It's very cold where we live, but we are so thankful for the rain after the long heat wave that we experienced. So today I'm also super excited to again share with you a new product. Last week, the Olivia on the show. And this morning we are launching a second one. So I'm very excited about it. Yes.
Very excited too.
So I am wearing it. I'm just going to quickly move the phone a bit. As you can see,
wow.
it's red. I'll open it up a bit later. It's keeping me warm for now. So our new shawl is called the Covenant Prayer Shawl. And it's something I've actually wanted to do for such a long time. I think if you've listened to our first talk on the prayer shawls, I spoke about the idea behind the prayer shawls being more of a prophetic tool in your hand, if you remember. So I wanted to share the story previously, but I thought I'll keep it for this specific shawl because it is about covenant and His blood. So I realized the full power of the prophetic actions when I started doing deliverance and counseling. So we were helping a girl who was suffering from what do you call it? Now the words are gone. What do you call it if you have like a different personality disorder, but there's another word? Schizophrenia. Schizophrenia. So she was suffering from schizophrenia, and it was actually a terrifying but amazing journey because I knew nothing. I had no experience, and Abba just threw me into the deep end with this girl. And on the morning, I was actually doing a couple of sessions with her where we were just teaching. I was just educating her and teaching her, and getting to know her, and she getting to know me. And I can honestly tell you that there was nothing wrong with her mentally. She was just a normal woman that you speak to. It wasn't as if she was in a state of schizophrenia the whole time. So you could have normal conversations with her. She was a very smart girl, and she found the teachings that I did very, very interesting. And it was building up to a time where we had to do deliverance. But before you do deliverance, you need to educate the person. They need to understand what it's about. And finally, the day came when we had to do deliverance, and she lives quite far away from me, and I was driving there. And even before I left at my house, a friend that was living with her at the time phoned me, and she said, no, this girl is having a terrible spiritual attack. She doesn't want me to come to do they don't want me to come anymore to do the deliverance. And I just really felt it was the enemy, trying to stop us from doing what I wanted to do that day. And I said, no, we're coming, and we just keep praying on our way there. Well, anyway, it's a long story. When we finally got there, I found her in a bed crying, didn't want to speak to me even. She was totally a different person. And finally, we got to a point where she actually agreed, okay, she will do some deliverance. So we went to the living room, and we sat her down, and we had to do a lot of prayers. You have to start with forgiveness, and there's a lot of things. So to help her, it was only a guideline. I had to type out some of the prayers. And I couldn't believe it. It was really totally a different person. She was struggling to read one small paragraph where I've interacted with her so many times. She's so smart. She could speak fluently, read fluently, but when she had to read that paragraph, it's like the spirit just bound her tongue. She couldn't get it out. It took us to read one small paragraph like this would take us half an hour. Anyway, long story. And when I left that morning, I really felt led by the set-apart spirit, and he said, I mistake. I had this red material, red cloths in my cupboard. And I felt, he said, I must take that along. we're gonna need it, and we're gonna use it prophetically during the deliverance, specifically to symbolize the blood of Yeshua. And at this stage in the deliverance, I just felt I just need to calm her down because she was just erratic. And I said to her, and I prayed for her, and I asked her, "Can I put this red cloth around your shoulders? It symbolizes the blood of the Messiah." And when I took that cloth out, I wanted to just lifting it up to put it around her, she just totally manifested. She literally almost climbed the wall out vertically. I've never seen anything like that. She got on the back of the couch and she just totally freaked out. Me by just taking out that red cloth. And obviously, there's no power in the material. It's just a red piece of material. But me using it prophetically in that instance, and it symbolizes the blood. The enemy knows the power of that. He doesn't want that near him. And she totally freaked out. So I put it away and I said to her, and I just calmed down, and we continued. And at the end of the session, when we finally were able to do some prayer and deliverance, I asked her again, "Can we now use the blood? I'm going to put it on the floor, and I want you to step into it. It's like your new life." Yeah, and there was no manifestation. All of that was gone. But that day, I just realized we don't know and realize the power of the prophetic in the spirit. But we always have to remember, obviously, it's a prophetic act. So I just wanted to share that story. So the whole idea behind the covenant shawl is the blood of the Messiah, but so much more than that. It's about covenant. That's why I specifically named it the covenant shawl. I felt in the past sometimes that we speak a lot about the tabernacle and how you need to enter in and you go on this journey with Abba. How it's so important not to misuse the blood. Because I've seen that many times. People don't live a life of sanctification. They don't live a life of covenant with Him. They just want that spare wheel on the back of the car in case there's trouble. And for me, that's almost like not really appreciating the blood of the Messiah and what He has done for us. So that's the whole idea behind the covenant ritual. So I would just like to read some verses for you and speak a bit about covenant.
Yes, please.
Again, it's just the information that we've put on the tag. So each of our shawls comes with a little tag with a small message that just explains what the shawl is about and what's the principle behind the shawl, so you can really get into alignment with that. So the covenant prayer shawl, the first verse I want to read to you is Matthew 26, verse 27. It says, "Then taking the cup of wine and giving praises to the Father, He entered into covenant with them, saying, 'This is my blood. Each of you must drink it in fulfillment of the covenant.'" So we know that they use the covenant meal. Specifically, the covenant meal was instituted with Pesach when they came out of Egypt. That's the beginning of our journey, entering into that covenant journey with Abba. And you use it by drinking from the cup to enter into covenant. So we are bought with His blood. His blood cleanses, heals, and protects. Yahweh is an Elohim of covenant. If we look at the ancient Hebrew pictographs of covenant, it refers to the tent of the prince. That was so amazing to me. If you look at that ancient Hebrew, that you literally, when you enter covenant, you're entering into the tabernacle. It's a lifestyle choice. Your whole life changes. So it obviously refers to the tabernacle of Abba. To be in covenant with Him means to dwell with Him in His tent and to walk in obedience. His blood is precious and should not be taken for granted or used in a light-hearted manner. His blood cleanses us from sin. It heals us. It protects us from the enemy. His blood has a voice that calls out redemption. Using it prophetically comes with great responsibility because it is a powerful weapon. So it's just 3 scriptures I want to just read to you. The first one is Exodus 19, verse 5 to 6. It says here, Now therefore, if you will obey my voice in truth and keep my covenant, then you shall be my own peculiar possession and a treasure from among and above all peoples, for all the earth is mine. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation, consecrated, set apart to the worship of Elohim. These are the words you shall speak to the Israelites. So it was just again to just set the stage that we need to enter into covenant. And I always had this when I was younger, and I would pray and I would go before Abba's throne. I would see this picture in my mind that I'm standing before Abba's throne, and he's looking at me through like a mesh of the blood of Yeshua. He doesn't see me, but he sees the covenant that we are standing. Yes. So for me, when I use this prayer, I will use it whenever I feel I need protection or to remind me of the covenant, or when you're doing a court case and you're standing before the throne, that you go in and you are covered by His blood. In the second verse is John 6. Just quickly go there. John 6, verse 55 to 58. Yes. 5 to 58. It says, "For my flesh is true and genuine food. My blood is true and genuine drink. And he who feeds on my flesh and drinks my blood dwells continually in me." And there he links that as well. Drinking the blood, taking part in the covenant, means that you need to dwell with him continually. Just as the living Father sent me, I live by, through and because of the Father. Even so, whoever continues to feed on me, whoever takes me for his food and is nourished by me, shall in his turn live through and because of me. This is the bread that came down from heaven, and it is not like the manna which our fathers ate, and yet died. He who takes bread for his food shall live forever.
Sure.
And then the last verse is 1 Corinthians 11, verse 24 to 30. Where am I now? Yeah. To 30. It's a long piece, but just hold on. It says, "And when he had given thanks, he broke it and said, 'Take and eat. This is my body, which is broken for you. Do this to call me affectionately to remembrance.' And he took the cup also, saying, 'This cup is the new covenant, ratified and established by my blood. Do this as often as you drink it, to call me affectionately to remembrance. For every time you eat this bread and drink this cup, you are representing and signifying and proclaiming the fact of Yahuwah's death until he comes again.'" So again, it reminds us of covenant and what he did for us by laying down. "Then whoever eats the bread or drinks the cup of Yahweh in a way that is unworthy of him will be guilty of profaning and sinning against the body and the blood of Yahweh. Let a man thoroughly examine himself, and only when he has done so should he eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For anyone who eats and drinks without discriminating and recognizing with due appreciation that it is Yahushua's body, eats and drinks a sentence, a verdict of judgment upon himself. That careless and unworthy participation is the reason many of you are weak and sick, and quite enough of you have fallen into sleep of death." So that's quite a harsh scripture that we often choose to forget when we are using the covenant meal, but it's just in warning us and saying, this is really a serious matter. You cannot claim to eat of me and drink of me and be in unison, but you live a different life. It needs to be life-changing. Otherwise, you bring a spiritual sentence over yourself. So, like they say, with great power comes great responsibility. It's the same with the shawl, to really understand what it's about and to use it from that perspective.
Sure, it's beautiful. I think what's so nice about it is, like you say, there's a lesson in it to know what is your responsibility, but it's also that closeness of, I'm in covenant with him. So when I put the shawl around me, I feel his presence. I know I'm covered by his blood. I feel protected and safe. So sure,
Yes.
it's beautiful. Can you show us the shawl?
I'm gonna get up.
Okay. Oh wow.
So it has 4 different types of red.
Sure. It's beautiful.
It has 4 different types of red, and both of the colors, all of the colors are repeated twice, but they go from thin to thick, so it gets like a nice ombre effect. It's really a beautiful shawl. It's even more beautiful in person. And then, yeah, to just share last thing, I'm so excited. The shawl is going to launch either in the next couple of days online. You can order it, do a pre-order. We just need to still take pictures. I haven't had time to just photograph the shawl. So as soon as I've photographed it, we'll make it live online. But I'm very excited to share with you. So this shawl, we are going to try something new as well. So it's also going to be available as a table runner. So the table runner is going to be, yes, I think it's going to be available in about 4 sizes, lengths for different size tables. It's going to be a bit narrower than the shawl, but it's going to look just amazing. I'll do a nice photo shoot as well. To use, for example, to use it when you are doing a covenant meal, or to use it during Pesach. Just to have that symbolic meaning on the table of this is the covenant meal and this is blood. So yeah, this is the first.
I love that idea.
Try and do, yeah, in a table runner as well.
We're super excited to see it, and especially after the photo shoot, to see the photos. And yeah, I think it's a really nice accessory to have in your kitchen table runner, but also in your closet. But yeah, what is awesome about it is that you don't only just clothe yourself in any clothes, it really has a true meaning behind it. So that's powerful. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you all for listening. If anybody has a question, you can raise your hand if you're not shy to speak on camera. Otherwise, I want to invite you to come join us tomorrow morning. We're going to have a talk on, what's the title again?
Beauty from Abba Father's. Yes.
Yes. I think it's a discussion each and every woman should listen to. It's actually a very big topic and a very long discussion, but I think we need to touch on it because we all struggle with self-image and self-worth, and we get bombarded by worldly images of women the whole time. So we just feel like tomorrow is a good time, and we're going to be joined by a special guest. So please join us at 9. Thank you so much, Yeshua.
And thanks, Steph. And it's going to be on Milk and Honey's channel. Thank you.
Yes. Shalom.